Right now in IUSTV News, a Monroe County correctional officer was assaulted by an inmate facing a murder charge.
And a new string of IU burglaries has hit the IU campus.
But first, the Humane Association building is facing damage after the tornado late last week. Find out how the community is helping out.
And after that full 180 changes recently, I'll let you know what's coming up this week.
After a tornado hit southern Indiana last week, multiple areas in Bloomington are still cleaning up after extensive damage. Thanks for joining us. I'm Daniel Marlowe.
And I'm Mike Badroff. The storm destroyed parts of Monroe County's Humane Association, but I went out there to take a look at the damage. Bloomington's community had already stepped up to help out. Take a look. When a tornado rolled through Bloomington and destroyed parts of the Monroe County Humane Association, it was the community of Bloomington that showed up to help clean up debris and get the shelter back on the right track. When staff came by after the tornado to get a first look at the damage, the outlook seemed grim.
Because it was so dark, one, it felt way more intense and overwhelming just because the darkness kind of plays, with your mind.
But now, with the help of community members working through the day, hope has been restored to the Humane Association. There were about 30 members working through piles of debris, right in 20-degree weather. Board member Valerie Pena says the help has been uplifting, and they've even started to share laughs about the damage as they work through it together.
You have to almost get to that point where you can just laugh. And one of the funniest parts is this storage container that's back here was way up by the building. And when we got here Thursday night, there were a couple of us, and my husband goes, "Where's the storage container?" And it was like, "What do you mean?" And, those things are not light. And what he found it back here, and then until daylight when we came here to see the divots in the ground of where that thing hit and hit and hit till it ended up staying back here. So, that just alone, when you start putting that in your head of like, what great footage would that have been to see? Just,
The Humane Association has even received a wave of support from local businesses, such as Lenny's Brew Pub, whose owner Michael Flock said he just wanted to help give back to his community.
It was also a cool way to make a big impact and bring the community together. I know there were a lot of people that wanted to contribute in some way, and it was we had the opportunity to bring people together to help their efforts. The check donation that we're going to write today is for $2,319, and yeah, the community definitely showed up for it.
The association is still assessing damages. They estimate about 3 months before they are up and working again. For IUSTV News, I'm Mike Badroff. For updates on the Monroe County Humane Association, check out their website at monroehumane.org.
The Monroe County Humane Association was hit hard, but it wasn't the only place impacted. Fifth Third Bank, Menards, and Hardee's also saw damage, along with several homes in the area. The EF2 tornado touched down Monroe County from 6:57 to 7:06 p.m., with peak winds reaching 120 miles per hour. Thankfully, the Monroe County Sheriff's Department says there were no injuries or deaths reported. The National Weather Service also confirmed smaller EF0 tornadoes in Bible Grove, Illinois, and Sullivan, Indiana that same night.
IU police are searching for 3 suspects involved with burglaries on campus this week. The 3 juvenile males damaged property and stole items from the Wright Education Building and Ballantyne Hall. Police said the suspects are white males of different builds wearing hoodies, jackets, and gym shoes. A full description of the men can be found in the crime alert sent to IU students' emails Monday. Anyone with information is asked to contact IUPD.
It has been a difficult month for some legendary journalism institutions. That is why the speaker list for this week's symposium, hosted by the Arnold Center for Investigative Journalism, is well timed. The keynote speaker is Marty Barron, former executive editor of the Washington Post. 2 weeks ago, the Washington Post cut nearly half of its staff under owner Jeff Bezos, who founded Amazon. Marty Barron was the Washington Post editor from 2012 to 2021 until he retired. He's expected to address the controversy generated by the staff cuts, as well as the threats to journalism nationwide.
So yeah, I think, every year I say, can we do better? How can we top it? And each year we get terrific panels, and I think people will be really inspired. I think students will be inspired. I think they'll give them a lot to think about.
The Arnold Center trains IU students in investigative journalism. The annual symposium is Thursday the 26th here in Franklin Hall. Panels will start at 1 o'clock and the keynote speech will be at 6 o'clock in the evening. The symposium is free and open to the public, though pre-registration online is encouraged.
A Monroe County jail inmate facing a murder charge is now accused of sexual battery on a correctional officer. A Monroe County jail inmate facing a murder charge is now accused of sexual battery on a correctional officer. Police say 27-year-old Briley Turner tried to grab the officer's crotch while he was cleaning a camera in her cell back in January. Turner is currently being held in Monroe County Correctional Center for the alleged 2024 murder of her boyfriend. The new charges include battery and sexual battery. The investigation is still ongoing.
A Beech Grove police officer was shot and killed on duty last Monday. Officer Brian Elliott was responding to a domestic call when he and another officer were shot. The second officer is in stable condition. Police say the suspect, Kenneth Terrell Johnson, has been taken into custody. The visitation and funeral services were held this past Sunday and Monday. Community members have left flowers and mementos on Elliott's squad car outside of the Beech Grove police station as a memorial.
Well, Daniel, IU student government candidates are still out on the campaign trail. Late last week, they took the stage at Town Hall to lay out their platforms and answer questions from students. Our Josh Summers has the story. Josh?
All right, thanks guys. Knowing what a candidate stands for is just as important as voting. Here's a brief look at some of what the two tickets running for IU student government, president and vice president, stand for. Around 90 students gathered last Wednesday at Briscoe to learn more about the two tickets running for executive position in IU student government this spring.
Yeah, it was really great to hear them talk and come and learn more about IU student government, because I think that's not something that every student knows about. So it was cool to learn more about that and hear about the different policies.
The two tickets emphasized listening to students and adjusting their platforms as students communicate what is important.
I feel like the town hall went well for both tickets, and it was really interesting to see the concerns of the student body and to be able to address those concerns within our policy document.
Questions were asked regarding disapproval with administrators, safety on campus, connecting with students, and concrete policy if elected.
They obviously care a lot about this campus, so making sure that we're taking that into our policies, making sure that we're revising them in order to make sure that we're advocating for them as much as we can.
The Ford ticket described plans to increase visibility, specifically on Eagleston, as well as expanding counseling and psychological services to other regions on campus.
That in the town hall, I think all the answers to students' problems are located where the students carry out their daily lives.
The Empower ticket spoke about creating an undergraduate student canvas page and working with student media to keep students involved and aware. The ticket also spoke about hopes to place heated bus stops around campus.
Really, interesting and very invigorating to hear what these people have to say, because, from where I stand, I see lots of apolitical students, and so it's very, heartwarming to see these students care so much about the issues on campus.
For full policy breakdowns and events, the tickets can be found at Empower for IUSG and Vote Forward for IUSG on Instagram. To learn more about what these tickets stand for, keep your eyes peeled around campus and tune into the live stream of their debate on Wednesday here at IUSTV. The elections will begin March 2nd at 10 a.m. and conclude at 10 p.m. on March 4th. Back to you guys.
An ICE detainee died in custody at an Indiana prison last week. Lorth Sim, a 59-year-old Cambodian, came to the States in 1983 and became a U.S. citizen in 1986. He was found unresponsive in his cell, and his death is still being investigated. Sim is the 7th immigrant to die in custody this year. Nearly 40 have died since Trump took office.
A Bloomington man lost $7,600 in Bitcoin after a fake jury duty call. Bloomington police say the 50-year-old man got a call from someone claiming to be Lieutenant Green with the sheriff's office. The scammer said he missed jury duty and had a warrant and needed to pay $7,600 in Bitcoin. The man withdrew cash and used 2 Bitcoin machines to send the money. Police have no suspect info and no arrests have been made. Experts say jury duty issues come only from official sources and never require crypto payments.
All right, I don't know what's been going on this past week, Daniel, but the weather has been crazy. Do you have any idea what's going on?
Neither do I. I was just out at Planet Fitness trying to survive a tornado, and it was just snowing yesterday, so I'm all over the place also.
It looks peaceful right now, but Maya, do you have any clue what's been going on?
Well, I'm not a meteorologist, so I can't really tell you much, but I can tell you what the board says. Basically, here in Bloomington, we have 29 for the week, so it's still going to be cold. Don't look too much for sunshine. I know we had that fall spring last week a little bit, but it's not getting any hotter. In the cold, we have 27 up in Rushville. Hot, we've got 32 near Washington, so not really that great. For your morning dog walk, if you're planning on walking your dog early tomorrow morning, maybe bundle up real tight because it's 35 all the way until 8 a.m. Sun doesn't come out until 8 a.m. and then it actually goes down. So definitely bundle up. Coming up, I can tell you we might have some possible snow next week. I'm really sorry. There's a cloud and a sun mix, some sun this weekend, so look forward to that. And we have lots of rainy days ahead. Back to you guys.
Well, thanks, Maya. That wasn't the news I wanted to hear. Still ahead, how a new deal with the Indiana government could bring the Chicago Bears to Indiana.
Plus, a women's clothing service is being forced to move in Bloomington. Find out where they will be moving.
And later, how festivals in Bloomington are undergoing a massive change. We've got all this and more right after the break. Welcome back. As spring inches closer in Bloomington, so does the city's festivals for residents to enjoy.
But due to a new city mandate, the festivals are being forced to move from their 4th Street home to right on Kirkwood, sparking concerns from festival members.
Our Camden Glover has the story. Camden?
Thanks, guys. Behind me, you could find Kirkwood, which will be the new home for all 4th Street festivals starting this year.
The Bloomington Board of Public Works has approved a proposal that would no longer permit festivals to be located on 4th Street. The newly designated areas for these events consist of Kirkwood Avenue, Courthouse Square, and the Trades District. The 4th Street Festival of the Arts and Crafts is one of the most popular events on 4th Street. Although this new regulation is being implemented, the board has permitted the art festival to celebrate its 50th anniversary on 4th Street. 4th Street Festival of the Arts board members expressed their concerns for this move.
We fear in that hardscape environment, brutal heat, interrupted sales, lots of other pedestrian traffic, that we feel it could be the demise. We feel it could very well be the demise of this 50-year tradition.
Shoppers will not be able to be in that real artistic street. They'll be mixed up with everybody else who's on Kirkwood, so it won't have the same intimate feeling.
The environment is not the only concern for festival boards, especially those with fragile showcases.
We have very great security concerns. Those booths are set up for 2 nights. It only takes one inebriated person to fall into a canvas tent to destroy someone's work.
Additionally, organizations have established their events on 4th Street. The local restaurants see an increase in business during these events as well. These festivals have spent years establishing a reputation and are wondering how their brand may change.
Frankly, the committee has spent decades in marketing, in publicizing, in word of mouth. That is going to be lost, completely lost. How are we going to say, come see the 4th Street Festival of the Arts on 5th Street?
Specifically talking about the 4th Street's Art Festival, the committee will review this proposal and this plan in October. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Camden. The Chicago Bears may be closer to crossing state lines. On Thursday, an Indiana House Committee unanimously approved a plan that paves the way for a new stadium to be built in Hammond. The NFL team calls it the most meaningful step in their planning efforts to date. The proposal includes new local taxes to help pay for the stadium and infrastructure, and the team would pay $2 billion towards construction costs. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker called the development a surprise and disappointing, noting that his team had had recent positive discussions with the Bears.
After 27 years, My Sister's Closet in Bloomington is being forced to move. The nonprofit sells and gives out professional clothing for interviews and work. They also help women write resumes, practice interview skills, and more. For many clients, it's a resource to help regain stability. But now the organization has to move. Their lease ends this summer, and the new space needs renovations. Hundreds of women could lose these services without help from the community.
But right now, we have very, very little time, And the women coming in are not going to stop coming in because we go out of business. They are still going to need help. So this is really about not having an interruption to the services that we are providing to over 250 women a year. And most of these women have 2 or 3 kids or grandkids. And so it's not just them, it's quite a few people who are affected by our services every year.
To learn more about My Sister's Closet and donation information, you can call them or visit sisterscloset.org. To learn more about My Sister's Closet and donation information, you can call them or visit sisterscloset.org. $15.7 million. That's how much money Indiana University will be dedicating to a renovation of the Jacobs School of Music Musical Arts Center, also known as the MAC. The center is a performance hub for Jacobs students, holding nearly 300,000 square feet of space for students to record, perform, and learn. The center opened over 5 decades ago, with this project being the first major overhaul of the building's technology and learning spaces. The funding still requires approval from the Indiana Commission for Higher Education and the state budget agency.
The Board of Trustees has approved the creation of a new nonprofit research organization, IU Inc. The program is designed to attract new research and business partnerships within fields such as bioscience, artificial intelligence, and national security. IU Inc. will be split into 3 separate corporations: the IU Launch Accelerator for Biosciences geared towards life science innovation, the IU Applied Research Center for National Security, Tech Development, and IU Realty, which will activate IU non-academic real estate to generate revenue.
The new research center isn't the only funding the board approved, as IU President Witten is getting a $100,000 raise to hit $1 million. Indiana University trustees approved the raise after saying it reflects her work in research and industry partnerships. The vote was unanimous and comes the same day football coach Kurt Cinetti's salary was reported at $13.2 million. The next trustee meeting is June 11th in Bloomington.
A new plan to reaffirm free speech on Indiana University's campus has been approved by the board. IU has faced challenges when it comes to free speech these past couple of years, and now Indiana University's Board of Trustees have approved a new plan to meet free speech needs for students and faculty. The Chicago principles have been approved by the Board of Trustees. Highlights from these principles include transparency of institutional rights and making of new policies. IU joins 115 other schools that have adopted the Chicago principles. And Maya is back now to tell us a little bit more about the crazy weather we're experiencing and what to look forward to.
Yeah, so there's not much to look forward to. There is some sun this weekend. That's the only thing I can give you, but unfortunately it is going to snow next Monday. Want to take you guys another look at this board that we have here. 28s, 30s, not really going higher than 32. However, the overnight temperatures, we've got 39, 41 if you're out at midnight, but I would recommend to stay indoors. And if you are going outside for any reason, bundle up, please. For your 7-day forecast, we're hitting that Friday's 58. That's the only good news that I have for you. But we see Monday is 40. So not much going on there. It's cloudy throughout the entire week, and you're not really going to get much sun. So you won't need sunscreen, but you definitely will need layers. So what do you guys think about that? Not the greatest news, I know.
I am looking forward to that 58. Maybe I'll be able to throw some shorts on. I'll have to bundle up just to go to the gym in the morning, hopefully.
Possibly, yeah.
Plan on working on my tan this weekend. Definitely gonna have to move that back a little bit.
I would move it to Friday.
Friday?
From the hours of 12 to 2, and then go back inside.
Well, I thank you for that.
Of course.
I am looking forward to our next segment, because still ahead, we got sports, and the Olympics have closed down, but maybe also IU's basketball tournament chances. Our Laura Kinane has more when we come back.
Hello, my name is Laura Kinane, IU Sports. I'm here to give you all the updates about sports here at IU and across the nation. With the Winter Olympics coming to a close, let's take a minute to talk about some of the highlights from this past week. In total, the athletes won 12 gold medals for the country, breaking the U.S.'s record for most gold medals at a single Winter Olympics. That's pretty crazy in itself. And starting with our events on the ice, Alyssa Leo, America's figure skating sweetheart, has taken home gold in the women's short skate event. Her story is as incredible as the win itself. After retiring for mental health reasons, she rediscovered her passion for the sport, ending her hiatus in 2024. Her gold medal breaks a 24-year drought for the United States in the event. Speaking of gold on the ice, both the men's and women's hockey teams have made history with their victories over rival Canada in their respective matches. The men's match was won in overtime with a golden goal scored by Jack Hughes, who, mind you, had been taken out of the game just a few minutes before getting his teeth knocked out. This is the first time that the men have won the event in 47 years, the last time being the infamous Miracle on Ice. The women's game was also won in overtime. This match broke the record for the most viewed women's hockey game ever. This is the third time in history that the U.S. has won gold in the event, the other 2 times also being over Canada. With March just around the corner, let's talk IU basketball. The men unfortunately lost to Purdue away in West Lafayette this past weekend. Unfortunately for the Hoosiers, Mackey Arena proved itself again as one of the hardest venues to perform at in college basketball. The team could not get a hand on the ball, giving up 11 turnovers throughout the games. The Boilermakers got an early lead and made sure to keep it as the Hoosiers remained in a losing standing for the entire game. Regardless of the loss, the Hoosiers are still sitting comfortably with around a 90% chance of making the March Madness bracket. We have some better news for the ladies, though, as they pulled out a victory over Oregon at home to celebrate their senior night. The Hoosiers were absolutely dominant from the free throw line, going 21 out of 26 compared to 8 out of 14, capitalizing on turnovers and three-point shots that the Ducks simply could not keep up with. During this game, Shea Suzuki reached 1,000 career points, becoming one of 35 women in IU history to do so. I don't have a slide for this, but the NFL Scouting Combine kicked off this weekend in Indianapolis. Top college football prospects from across the nation are putting their speed, strength, and skills on display in front of NFL coaches and scouts. Our Camden Glover is there right now. Cam, how's it looking out there?
Thanks, guys. I'm here at the Indiana Convention Center where the NFL Scouting Combine has officially begun. We heard from some of the NFL head coaches, and soon we will hear from the players as well. Aiden Fisher, Fernando Mendoza, and Pat Coogan are just 3 of the 9 players from Indiana University who have been invited to the Combine. This has made program history. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Camden. America's pastime is back as Major League Baseball begins spring training. I threw a picture of Wrigley Field up there, so I apologize to all the White Sox fans out there. As games continue, teams will keep showing who looks promising this season, along with who seems to have the strongest rosters, and be sure to keep an eye on your favorites as opening day approaches. And for the latest on all things IU sports, be sure to turn in each week to Hoosier Sports Night. You can catch it Thursdays on IUSTV. Now with, baseball season right around the corner, I'm a born and raised New Yorker. I love the Yankees. What about you guys? Who are we rooting for this year?
Well, you threw Wrigley Field up there, and I'm upset you didn't throw Comiskey as a White Sox fan. Thanks, Lara.
Yeah, I'm a Reds fan myself, and I don't really have much hope for our season this year. So
keep the hopes up, Daniel. Wow.
That's just.
And I'm saying this is a White Sox fan.
It's been like 30 years since '91 since we last won anything. So.
Well, it's okay. But hopefully the weather will get you up. I know Maya's standing by with the last look at the 7-day forecast.
Yes, I am. I am standing by with the last of the 7-week forecast. Basically, we have that Friday once again. We're hitting that 58. However, snow going into next week. Monday, it is going to be snowing. We have 40s and low 50s for the rest of the week, but really don't look for too much sun. It's going to be cloudy all week long. Sorry.
Thanks.
Anytime. Anytime.
Always a pleasure having you on.
I know.
Yeah. Thanks, Maya, and thank you for watching IUSTV News.
For updates between newscasts, check out IUSTV.com and be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and X. We're back here next week. See you then. Oh, yeah. Look at the weather here.